Josh Hosang. You can tell this is kind of an annual thing now, isn't it? So Josh Hosang, this summer, of course, there was talk about how Josh is going to make the team because there are Islander fans that really believe Josh Hosang's an NHL player, belongs on the team, and he should be getting every chance. He's got all these offensive gifts and greatness and whatever else. But there's a problem. Hosang came into camp and he didn't make the team. Didn't make it to the NHL this year, and he got sent down. And in Bridgeport, he's played 9 games. He's got 4 assists, and he's a -8 for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And here's the thing: Lou Lamoriello's now in charge. It's not Garth Snow anymore. Garth Snow, I always got the feeling, was a pretty nice guy. I mean, and I know, everybody wanted Snow fired, and Snow's terrible, blah, blah, blah. But I always got the feeling he was a nice guy. And he'd give a guy a 15th, 16th, 20th chance. Nice guy. Now Lou Lamoriello's in charge. Lou doesn't strike me as a guy who... I mean, Lou banned facial hair when he got to New York. Lou banned big numbers. You're number 57? No, you're 1. And then somebody else would yell, I'm 1. You're now 2. But I'm 2. I will change all of your numbers. Lou doesn't mess around. Okay? And now Josh Hosang has come out and said, I wasn't given a chance to make the roster. I want to go back to what he said here. It's really honestly. I feel like they had their minds made up what was going to happen and what the team was going to look like. It's okay. They had the whole summer to plan that. I don't know if you watched any of the games, but I didn't play a lot. It's okay. It is what it is. Hosang was a +1 in 2 preseason games with the Islanders before being sent down. He scored 2 goals, 12 points in 22 games with the Islanders last year. 22-year-old's been critical of his place with the Islanders in the past and had a rocky relationship with the team since showing up late on the first day of Islanders training camp of 2015 and immediately being sent to the OHL. You don't show up late for your first day of training camp when you're 18, 19. You just don't. And he did. This is a guy who dropped in the draft because there were rumors about his attitude, that he had an attitude problem. That was the big thing. That was why he dropped in that draft. And it was seen at the time that the Islanders might have, stolen the draft with getting Hosang. This guy has all the talent in the world. If he can get over his maturity issues. What Lou said in response is, I thought he worked hard. He worked hard on his game away from the puck. He just needs to go to the minors, go there, get over all these issues that I haven't seen that transpired in the past. So here's how I see it. Lou's saying, yeah, that happened before I got here. Now you need to work on your game for me. And Hosang's basically saying, I've done that. He's complaining he's not getting enough ice time in Bridgeport. He's saying they want me to be a top 6 forward, and I'm not getting top 6 ice time in Bridgeport, which is just... Basically, he's just got this whole idea now. It feels like through this interview that he's decided it's not working. Now, if that's the case, Lou's going to work on a trade pretty quick. I would imagine with this being out there now, and Hosang not being really necessary in the big picture, I would be very surprised if the Islanders don't work something out where he's gone. Lou's not the kind of guy to really let all of this stuff hang over a team. The Islanders are playing well. They're 5-4-1. If the Islanders got off to an 0-10 start and they weren't scoring goals, then Hosang would have a leg to stand on. He just doesn't right now. And his American Hockey League numbers are not good. What Lou's saying about his play away from the puck, I know plus-minus isn't a great statistic, but -8 in 9 games is pretty telling that he is still not there defensively. You're not going to play on a team that's coached by Barry Trotz if your defensive game isn't on point. And I'm sure Barry Trotz, one of the best coaches in the game, a guy who just won a Stanley Cup, he had something to say about the fact that Josh Hosang's not on this team. He didn't go and complain to Lou, I need Hosang. So he's playing a dangerous game here for a kid that doesn't really have any leverage. I get that he's frustrated. But the best way that a frustrated kid can make it work is go out there and play your best game. Whatever ice time you're given, steal it. Earn more. Make them give you more. There's no players in the league, in the game overall, that I have appreciated more than guys who go out there and steal ice time. and guys who maybe they're discarded at some point, and then they go out there and they steal ice time. The best example of that I can think of, a guy that I just love to death as a player, who was discarded a couple of times in his career, was Marty Gelinas. Marty Gelinas never complained. That I can remember, he never complained about not getting the ice time, not getting chances, getting waived, all this stuff. He just went out there, played his game, and he stole ice time. He made them play him. And if Josh Ho-Sang wants to make the New York Islanders, he needs to go out there for Bridgeport, and he needs to start scoring despite the fact he's not getting the ice time. He can't sulk over this. And again, this is kind of why GM stayed away from him that draft year. This is why he dropped. Because rumor had it that there was an attitude there, arrogance, that kind of thing, and that can be tough. Because we all look back at Alexander Daig, and we talk about how Daig was this huge bust. For Daig, it was work ethic. Daig had all the talent in the world, but you have to work. You can have the talent to reach the NHL, but you need to continually improve. And I'm going to go to another sport for an example here. Eugenie Bouchard. Eugenie Bouchard a few years ago was the hottest property in tennis. Women's tennis definitely. Tennis overall, arguably. And she got up into the top 10 women overall, and then suddenly it stopped. And what happened with Jeannie, if you watch Jeannie play now, she's still playing the same game, but that's the problem. Other tennis players looked at her game and they adjusted, and she hasn't evolved her game. I haven't seen anything that I can look at and say, if I see a Jeannie match where I go, yeah, she's really evolved her game. Josh Ho-Sang brought his game to the point where he was a top draft pick. And what I've heard in every single season since then is he's still that player, but he needs to evolve his game and he needs to get better in other areas in order to become a solid National Hockey League player. And that's why drafting guys at 18 is so hit and miss. It's better now than what it was, but it's very hit and miss. Because you are dealing with guys who will fail. You're dealing with guys who will exceed. And it's in these situations where he needs to just sort of deal with it. Dallas, Radek Faksa is a good example. Radek Faksa was drafted in the first round. He was drafted as probably being a decent goal scorer. That was the talk at the time, was he's probably going to be a 25, 30 goal scorer, good player. Second, maybe third line, but probably second line forward. Now, he scored well last year, but how did he get that opportunity? He played really, really well at each level. He forced his way up so that the Dallas Stars had no choice but to give him that opportunity. He demanded it. It is now on Josh Ho-Sang at 22 to demand it. The problem is the way that he demands it, going in an interview and complaining and whining, it's not going to sit well with Lou Lamoriello. And I would be very surprised if Josh Ho-Sang is still a member of the New York Islanders by the trade deadline. Because, yeah, this you don't let that sit. All right, you're not happy here? Okay. Lou seems like that kind of guy. Just go, you're not happy here? All right, understood. We'll move you out. No problem. Okay, gotcha. He didn't flinch over losing Tavares. He's not going to flinch over losing Ho-Sang. And the Islanders are playing pretty well without John Tavares. So he has a plan. And while Ho-Sang can say, oh, he had a plan the whole way through. Yeah, you got a GM with a plan now. So you have to force your way into. You have to force your general manager to change that plan. And you have to force it by changing your game. So if they're putting you out in defensive opportunities, play like the best defensive forward on the ice. Take your spots and excel in them. And that's basically what Lou wanted him to do. And right now it looks like that's not happening. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I know Ho-Sang's a guy that there's some division among the fans. There are some New York fans that believe that he really could be that offensive dynamo and that he didn't get that chance with previous management, and may very well agree with Ho-Sang on this one. So I'd be interested to know what you guys think as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through you happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.